Oh, this person's getting close to him now. Oh, of course I'll win right past him.
It's good to see you, Five Claw. We only just returned and I have yet to report to the Queen. Chimera is alright, isn't she? We saw the moons move at the eclipse end, but we haven't heard what happened after you entered the moon gate.
Chimera is fine. As a matter of fact, she sent me to find out what happened to you.
After I was caught in that dragon blast, Zamorak tended to my wounds and took command of the soldiers defending the upper ridge. I'm sorry to say that I was in and out of consciousness for most of what happened next.
So you don't know how the battle ended?
I know that I am still alive and grateful to be back in Rimmen. It's a miracle, thank the moons, that the city is free once more. If you want to know what really occurred at the moon gate, you'll need to ask Zamorak and Prefect Kelo.
Injuries. Do you need healers?
There are those among the troops who need the healers more than I. But perhaps a few hours in the soothing springs will restore my strength. I'll need it too. I have much to do to help Chimera restore Anequina to its former glory.
Goodbye.
Oh, it's you. Good to see you're still among the living. I suppose you had a hand in getting the moons to finally pull apart? Hang on, I need to finish my report. I find that it's best to write it all down while it's still fresh in my mind.
That's what brought me here. Chimera wants to know what happened after we entered the moon gate.
It's all in my report. Our troops held their ground and fought bravely. We lost many good soldiers, Khajiit and Imperial, but we did our duty. We slaughtered Euraxians by the score and kept the dragons at bay until the moons broke apart.
The ending of the eclipse was significant?
It was crucial to our survival. When the moons separated, the dragons broke ranks. They seemed to lose their drive, their purpose. They stopped attacking and flew off. Not a moment too soon. We had exhausted both our strength and our ammunition.
Why did the Euraxians do that?
The ones that survived Zamorak's charge lost what remained of their courage when the dragons abandoned the field of battle. They scattered like sand roaches and ran in all directions. I doubt they'll give the militia too much trouble going forward.
What will you and the Cinder's irregulars do now?
We still have a lot to do to heal the scars left by Euraxia and her mercenaries. I'll offer our services to Queen Chimera and Lord Garashri. Let them use us where we'll do the most good.
So you have to defend us with?
If that's what they need. But the Cygnus Irregulars are mostly military engineers, scouts, and trainers. We have a lot more to offer a kingdom that needs to be rebuilt than just blades and shields. That was our original mission, to help elsewhere.
Bye. Good man, man. Good man.
Zamorak is happy to see you, friend. After the dragons entered the moon gate and you followed, this one worried that all was lost. But then, the moons parted, and suddenly everything seemed all right.
Chimera sent me to find out what happened to you and the others.
Just what you would expect. We held our ground against the swarming Euraxians and their necromancers, repelled the dragons as best we could. This one let the desert wind flow through his limbs and claws, while our soldiers rallied to his side.
Defeated the Euraxians.
Between the Khajiit militia and the Cygnus Irregulars, we held them off. When the moons separated, the Euraxians broke off their attack and scattered to the four winds. The remainder will be a nuisance, but they pose no threat to the kingdom.
What about the dragons?
Zamorak doesn't know for certain. We faced mostly the Uraxians on the upper ridge. Prefect Kalo commanded the ballisti, so he could tell you more. This one does know that when the moons began to separate, the dragons roared in rage and flew away.
But will you do now, Zamorak?
Zamorak hopes to serve as Queen Kamira's claw, and defend the throne as he was trained to do. If she will not have me, well, Gareshri has many plans for improving life in elsewhere. This one would be happy to help in any way he can.
Goodbye.
Outsider, this one must speak with you. This one never expected to set foot in the capital of Anequina again. She hoped the militia would succeed, but she didn't believe they stood a chance against the usurper queen. Kashia understands you played a significant role in these events, yes?
I have to oversaw Alexia, defeat the betrayer and stop the dragons on the planet of Jod.
Such wonders you have accomplished, and to have touched the face of blessed Jod. This one is in awe. Despite all that, the Main has sent me to determine what happens next. Where is Lord Gareshri, the Speaker of the Main?
Gareshri returned from back to the Metro City Healers. What do you need? What happens next?
The healers? This one hopes the Speaker wasn't gravely injured. As for your question, we must settle the matter of Anequina's succession. Kashia must determine if Kamira is the legitimate heir to the throne, and if so, recognize her claim.
She's the only surviving daughter of King Hamakar. Doesn't that make her the queen?
Certainly, but anyone can make such a claim. To be accepted by the Khajiit, she must be recognized by the Main. With Gareshri indisposed, will you stand with Kamira and vouch for her heritage? If so, please tell her I am ready to meet with her.
I'll go find her and let her know.
Before you return to Kamira's side, this one requests an additional favor. The Main gave Kashia a sealed letter for Abnor Thar, but he refuses to see me. I understand that you and he share a special bond. Perhaps you could deliver the letter.
I can deliver the letter. But why is the Main writing to Abnor?
The specifics concern the Tharn alone, but this one believes it deals with the artificial eclipse and its impact on Khajiit society. The moons hold great sway over the Khajiit born under them. What does this mean for those born during this eclipse?
The eclipse I don't understand.
No matter what caused the eclipse, Joan and Jod joined as one. When this occurs naturally, one born then may become the next Main. But during a false eclipse, succession becomes a concern. The Main hopes Tharn can explain the arcane implications.
The Main come to crown Kamira personally.
The Main cannot be everywhere at once. That is what the Speaker and the envoys are for. For now, the Main's duties do not include Anequina. But know that the Main's heart is everywhere in Elsewhere. Now, please deliver the letter to Abnor Tharn.
Will do. Good day.
no, you simply must stay for the ceremony. It's not every day we get to see a lovely cat receive a crown.
Nonsense. And don't call me Abner. Besides, I think I've overstayed my welcome as far as Chimera is concerned. You and Cadwell, the two of you just can't leave well enough alone. No one was supposed to notice as I slipped out of Rimmen. Of course, very little has gone according to plan since the Wrathstone tablets set me on this path.
You're a leaving, son?
I am neither sentimental nor enamored of pomp and circumstance. My time in Elsewhere has shown me that I have limits. I am not the battle mage I was in my younger days. Besides, I hate parties. Small talk, speeches, canapes, totally unbearable.
Would you want to be here when Chimera's crowned queen?
I watched firsthand as a remarkable young woman became a leader. She's already a queen. Everything else is simply ceremony. I've lingered here long enough. You were an able enough traveling companion. I may call on you again sometime.
I will be happy to. Anyway, I have a letter for you. It is from the mail.
An intriguing question. Are Khajiit born under a forced eclipse next in line for the main? But this other bit confirms my suspicions. I must travel to Palatine at once. I'm sure we'll see each other again. Until then, farewell.
Good luck, son.
We accomplished much, but I fear we haven't seen the last of Calgrontiid. I must investigate reports coming from the south. You, however, have a queen to crown. Take Cadwell with you and make sure he behaves. And tell Chimera she did admirably.
You think Calgrontiid is still a threat?
We saw no body, and there's no reason to suppose Calgrontiid couldn't escape from Joe just as we did. He absorbed a remarkable amount of energy while the moons were aligned, after all. I'll send for you if and when I confirm my suspicions.
Goodbye.